laugh at all my jokes. You text me every day. You walk with me after class and walk with me all the way. Now I know I don't have time for you, and now I know, and I'm just too busy for you. You go to all my games, both home and away. And you know I love you, but I don't know what to say. Now I know I don't have time for you, and now I know that I'm just too busy for you. Stop going to all of my games. And you said I ain't the last one, and you gave it away. You brought it on my jokes. You hate me every day. Run up right after class, and I walked alone all the way. Now I know I don't have time for you, and now I know I should have made a move on you.
That's Safety Last. They're going to be performing, I'm excited to say, on February the 1st at Antonelli Event Center. And that's going to be out in the Norwin area, and it's going to benefit the Norwin Relay for Life. And I'm really excited and happy to have Andy, Tyler, and Quinn across the table from me. And you guys are part of the Purple Fighters. Hold on one second. We unmute them there on channel 2. All right, so you guys are with the Purple Fighters. That's really exciting. Safety Last, fantastic performance from them. We've got more music from them coming up here on River Talk. It's going to be an abbreviated episode, but all focused on the Norwin Relay for Life. So tell me, what are the Purple Fighters?
Purple Fighters are similar to just you, me, and everyone else. We are all in this together. There's a huge fight for cancer that's been ongoing for years. And for us, it's our mission to raise as much awareness as possible to end this horrible disease.
Now, how is that different from the Norwin Relay for Life committee overall? Like, what separates the Purple Fighters? Because I know that in the Norwin Relay for Life, in every Relay for Life, you have a committee of people that plan the entire event. It's a 24-hour fundraiser that raises money for cancer. And for those who are unaware of what the Relay for Life is, it started off with one doctor who relayed for 24 hours and raised money for the American Cancer Society. It developed into a series of relays with all sorts of teams and entertainment and food and ceremonies and everything all across the country. So what makes the Purple Fighters, what's separate or what's different about that?
What makes us different is that we contribute to them. So the event is the overall event, and then what we do separate events that go back towards the same pot of money that goes back to the American Cancer Society. So our job is just to sell some T-shirts, and then which is what we're wearing today,
Okay.
and as well as doing the concert, and then we have another event that we are doing later on. But like all these events are something that we do on our own that go back to the same pot.
Okay, so you're like the support team to help
Correct.
build up the entire event. And I think it's really probably very important because I imagine you generate excitement for the 24-hour event throughout the year through these other fundraisers, correct?
Yes, because one of the things that we've been promoted to for Relay since we've been doing this for so long is that we're youth ambassadors. So that's our job, is to get the youth involved and get them really excited for what we're doing.
And I know Norwin always has had a strong history, right? And I've got, let me get everyone's name in order, right? We've got
I'm Andy.
Andy.
And Tyler?
I'm Quinn.
Okay. So Norwin has always had a strong history of getting the school involved with the relay. I know when I first started with the Norwin Relay for Life, I was in high school. So they definitely have that strong connectivity to the youth. So this is exciting to see that they're kind of going into the next level to try to encourage more. Now, I know, Tyler, you created the Purple Fighters, correct?
Yep.
So was that your idea that try to do that to bring more youth involved?
Yeah, it was between me and this other kid that, he hasn't done it for a while, but it was our idea starting back whenever I was in 5th grade. And we thought that we needed something in our schools to promote more awareness, and especially for the amount of connectivity that we have ourselves through cancer, we felt it was very important to start boosting our communities.
I jumped on the boat in 7th grade shortly after my grandmother had got diagnosed with breast cancer. So I jumped on because I had known Tyler since we were little itty-bitty babies. And I always went to the relay events because my first one was at Irwin Park whenever we didn't get the stadium one year. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Dad, we have to go back. I have to go and spend the night there. Mm-hmm. And I ended up not because I was like 7, but it was pretty fun. And I remember that's when I started really getting involved with it by just folding shirts and then eventually taking on publicity roles and talking on TVs. And
How was it at Irwin Park? I actually never saw it there. I imagine it would be way different than the stadium. In some ways, I feel like it would be almost cooler in some ways, but I feel like you lose something at the same time. What were some of the benefits and drawbacks having it there at the park versus at the stadium?
Definitely at the park, you lost a lot more sleep because they had the party tent in the middle.
Okay.
They had like buffets going on all the time. We had a really good committee that year. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, some of those people have moved away to other relays, but at the park, it was more of a community event because people would just be walking through downtown, hear this awesome music, and come down and check it out and help donate. And but it's more controlled at the stadium. It's not as crazy. We don't have too many crazy people walking in, but
Yes.
So
you're welcomed anyways.
One of the events that they have at the Relay for Life is the luminary ceremony, where you can buy a luminary in honor of or in memory of somebody who has cancer. Now at the stadium, they put it all in the bleachers. What did they do at the park to make that hope luminary message get out there?
They utilized the stage as part of where they put the bags on top, and it was spelled a word.
Oh, that's cool. So you guys plan all of these events, and Andy, you are the publicity guy.
Yeah, I like talking.
Yes, but it's more than that, I imagine, right? It's hustling and getting the word out there and trying to bring people in.
This year I've been slacking, playing phone tag with a lot of people, but I like to go out. Tyler's the brains. I got the biggest mouth, so I try to go out there and any way that I can spread the word, either personal Instagram pages, personal Facebooks. Luckily, Norwin has a lot of all about the Norwin area pages, so I'm part of all those and constantly pushing events. I actually engaged with a couple moms about our mother-son dance that's coming up, and they were scared that it wasn't happening again this year, but I did not have a panic attack in that banquet center for it not to happen again, so I'm just excited to be a part of such an amazing organization and having such a vocal role, because if I didn't like talking, I don't know what I would be doing.
Yeah, get your own talk show. That's the next step, right?
Definitely.
So, Quinn, you are a co-chair on the committee. So what do you do with the Purple Fighters?
I really jumped aboard this year. I had helped out once before with my 6th grade in my 6th grade year. I've always been very supportive of this organization, but this year I really started to help out. I designed the shirts, and then I also advertised with my swim team. We're actually doing a swim meet the day after World Cancer Day on February 5th. I designed swim caps for everyone, and all my team's going to be wearing them. And we're all going to have our purple shirts to help raise money for this cause.
Very cool. And I noticed that now, when did you start going to Relay? Was that you in middle school as well?
Actually, my family has been involved in the Relay since 2005.
Oh, wow.
When my grandfather was diagnosed with oral cancer. So ever since 2005, I've been involved in the Relay for Life.
Cool. Now, do you guys work as a team on the day of the event too? Or are you a relay team where you're there for the 24 hours and walking and and doing everything as well?
Oh yes. My favorite thing is driving around the people on the golf carts because I like to move fast.
Oh, so you get to drive the golf carts.
Oh yes, I almost threw a lady out of it last
I
year.
used to
It
be
was
on the
fun.
committee, and I never got to drive a golf cart. That's not fair.
You gotta know the right people.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm part of Team Spirit. Tyler also is. I'm not
Yes.
quite sure what team Quinn's on, but
I'm part of my family's team, which is Walking Out Cancer. Yeah.
But yeah, me and Tyler, we sit at the table and harass our team leader Penny about what we can do, and we used to do the dinner, but we have since passed that on. It's not my problem anymore.
So I imagine like all of you guys, like how do you manage your time? Because you're students, you're on the team, which the team has all of its own events and things going on. Then you do the Purple Fighters as well. Is it challenging to keep track of everything? Do you have a really large calendar that you try to manage?
Oh yes. Since we've been doing it for 7 years, it's been crazy. Balancing all these things. So we have with our teacher cells, we have this huge system on Excel that we have to use, and it's just a huge master list, and it's a big mess, but we get through it. It takes a lot of our time, towards November, because that's the playing stages, and then come down to this is just crunch time. So trying to get things organized through the schools, delivering shirts, picking up orders with late orders and everything else, it takes up a lot. But with us today for so long, we've been getting our system down, and people have been doing okay.
Nice. So, that's the warning buzzer. No. So at the Relay for Life, I just know when you get so many people in one place and they're all in a good mood, right? Because they're there to support this great cause and everything else, and it's like a giant sleepover. Sometimes crazy things just happen that are very random, unplanned. I know one year when I was doing the Relay for Life, when I was still in high school, there was this massive lightsaber battle that unleashed on the middle of the field, and I don't know why everybody had lightsabers there. It wasn't planned, but there were 20 people just dueling, going at it in the middle of the football field at Knight Stadium in Norwin. Has anything like that ever happened in your time at the Relay? Have you seen anything just completely random unleash that was not planned, you weren't expecting?
Oh yes. From either dodging tents because it's storming to a point where it's become a dust bowl, to Poop a Nail, that was a game from the Netherlands that we had last year because our theme was around the world in 80 days, and watching the committee chairs try to get this nail in a bottle that's tied to their tuchus. It's pretty amusing. We actually did a caber toss, which is we picked up they weren't electrical poles, but they looked like electrical poles, and tried to throw them across the field. And that was fun. I won that game. I was.
But a lot of unexpected things we weather for many years, just trying to battle all those weathers. I still remember some storms that we just had to run.
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
I'm here with Andy, Tyler, and Quinn of the Purple Fighters for the Norwin Relay for Life. You mentioned about the tents and issues with the tents, so I have a really funny story about that. So, do you guys know Denise Martin? Is she still involved?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Denise Martin is one of the original people that created the Norwin Relay for Life, and I'm a huge fan of hers. She's a great woman. And I was so inspired by the Norwin Relay for Life that I decided to create a Relay for Life at California University of Pennsylvania, and it's still going on to this day. But of course, I modeled it off of what I knew of Norwin. In Norwin, they provide tents for all of the teams. At least they did. Do they still provide tents for the teams?
Yeah, we have to bring our own tents.
Oh, okay. Well, back in the day, they used to provide their own tents. And I thought, that's what we're supposed to do. So the Cal U Relay for Life, in those tents, they never stake them into the ground because of the football field with the AstroTurf. You can't put any stakes through the AstroTurf. So at Cal U, we were in an old baseball field. And Norwin let me borrow all of their tents for the Cal U Relay for Life. And at the time, and I had this giant garage tent that we brought as well with these huge poles that were the size of your leg. And I fit everything. There were, I think, 30-some tents and a garage tent in a Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, God bless.
And I drove from Norwin to Cal U, and all I could see out of were the two... I think it was just the one window on the left, the side window on the left, and the one on the right. I couldn't see out of the back window at all. And even my front seat was completely filled up with tents. We made it there. And of course, that day, you mentioned weather. That day of all days, a massive windstorm came through the town.
Naturally.
Yes, and because of Norwin not staking any of their tents, they literally threw all of the stakes away. So we had no stakes. So the tents were flying all over the baseball field, every which direction the entire night. And then after the entire relay was over, I've been up for 30 plus hours at this point, every team just left. No one took down their tents. So here, me and the rest of the committee, after we've been awake for 30 plus hours preparing for the relay, probably closer to 40 hours at this time, we're going through the baseball field, taking down every single tent. So from that point on, I decided that I was never going to allow people to borrow a tent again. So
We would never hear the end of it if we ever did that.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, and you guys are responsible. These kids were, they're college kids in frats and everything else. So you would think that they would do a better job, but they don't. So very cool. So we've got a few events that you guys have planning coming up. We have first off, we have World Cancer Day, which is on the 4th, February 4th. Do you guys have anything that you're doing special for that?
Yeah, we the concert is a few days before, but World Cancer Day is February 4th, and it's set aside every year to pay tribute, honor, and remember all the survivors and people who have got on the bus home and really did their best and fought their fight. And it's just a day of remembrance, so that's whenever everybody's supposed to wear their shirts and turn Norwin purple for the day. And then the concert's on the 1st.
Correct.
It's going to be a Friday night. I work the next day. It's not going to be fun. But the concert's all ages. We highly suggest everybody bring their friends. It's going to be great. And for $14 for 2 bands, and that's pretty.
One of the bands being Safety Last, which you heard, and we're going to hear again here in a few minutes.
And they're pretty great.
They're incredible, yeah. If you're looking for a reason to show up, there you go, right?
Yeah, good down-to-earth kids. They're from the area, too. I know James, the one head guitarist? I don't know. He's just sort of there. But he's from Norwin. He was in a couple of my classes this year. I have some PT kids in there. Is there a Franklin kid? No Franklin
kids. No.
But yeah, they're all local kids. They have been busy the past couple days. And then we have Bon Journey, and they are a tribute band to both Bon Jovi and Journey. So I know that we had a group buy 16 tickets just to come to see them.
Nice.
But if you do buy tickets, there might be a special surprise for you. You might get a bracelet, maybe.
Okay. Fantastic. And then I also see on the 5th there's a swim meet that's going to benefit.
Norwin versus Gateway varsity swim meet. Like I said, we'll all have purple caps in honor of the Purple Fighters, and then the whole swim team will be decked out in Purple Fighter gear. And I'm hoping that Gateway will show up in their purple. I also sent the link out to them, so I'm hoping that they'll come in purple, as with all of the supporters and fans in the stands.
Now, is Gateway a big rival in the swimming world?
For Norwin, not necessarily. I'm not sure who their rival is, but it'll definitely be a good meet. They are a strong team.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Who is the biggest rival in the swimming, Norwin swimming?
For Norwin swimming, it's Hempfield and Penn Trafford.
Penn Trafford, okay. I know in the band. I know somebody here's in the band. Okay, you're in the band. I know it's Kiski there.
Yes,
I'm a band person. I was in the band as well, so yeah, I definitely know that. So very cool. All right, great. Well, I'm very excited, and don't forget, it's going to be February the 1st, and that's going to be at the Antonelli Event Center, and that's in Norwin as well.
Correct.
And what street is that on?
100 Colony Drive.
Colony Drive, all right, great. And that's going to be with Safety Last and Bon Journey. We've got 2 more songs from Safety Last. Are you guys ready? All right, they're ready. We've got 2 more songs from Safety Last. We're going to get them on, and then we're going to wrap things up here on River Talk. Special Relay for Life episode. Maybe I'll stop down and see you guys. I'm excited. I know, again, that's my home relay, so maybe we can get down there and do a show live from the event or something.
Yeah, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, cool. All right, thank you so much, Andy, Tyler, and Quinn of the Purple Fighters, the Norwin Relay for Life Purple Fighters. We've got Safety Last up right now. This is River Talk. This is Pittsburgh's voice for local music, The River's Edge.
I start to walk through cities, feel the stares and smiles pitied from the masses in my classes. Smile to hide the pain I felt and all the cards that I've been dealt, all the hatred, feel it sacred. I sit here thinking what to do and what on earth is wrong with you. Am I cleansed yet? Fall of my regret. The scars will fade, but this masquerade will never end. My scars will fade, but this masquerade will never end. Go and throw another drink right now. Don't know what to think right now. Crumbling bridges burn. Don't know where to turn. Go and throw another drink right now. Don't know what to think right now. Throw another bottle. Violate the throttle. Live on the edge and it's all because nothing's worth something. Oh, she'll push and pull just to get her way, and it doesn't matter what I say, doesn't matter if I'm plastered. 'Cause the scars will fade, but this masquerade will never end. Scars will fade, but this masquerade will never end. Go and throw another drink right now. Don't know what to think right now. Crumbling bridges burn. Don't know where to turn. Go and throw another drink right now. Don't know what to think right now. Throw another bottle. Violate the throttle.
tune back up, so we're gonna take a second break here. We're gonna jump back in with some Relay for Life talk here on River Talk. This is the River's Edge Radio Network at riversedgepgh.com. What is the date for the relay this year?
The
June actual 1st? Date, June 1st.
June 1st, I believe.
Yeah, Norwin's lucky because they have the relay at a nice time of year. Sometimes it's cold, though. It's very cold at night. I know there are times where you're freezing at night and you're kind of running or doing whatever you can to try to stay awake, which can be very, very challenging.
Yeah, there was a few times that I was begging my parents to get out of bed at 3 a.m. to bring me Red Bull, but...
One year, Red Bull, they weren't like a sponsor, but they came with an entire cooler full of Red Bull, and they were passing it out to everybody. It was the first time I ever had it, and I remember I didn't react well to it. I was like twitching all over the place and everything else. That's back when Red Bull was still kind of... I don't know if they were new, but it wasn't like it is now where you see it just everywhere. Yeah, the Relay for Life, June's a good time. We did ours in the spring. I think it was even colder during our Relay for Life at Cal U. But yeah, it's better. I think like the summertime, the warmer it is, the easier it is to keep going and enjoy it. Have you ever been to an indoor Relay for Life?
I've never, but I really want to. I want to see how they do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did one with the WCCC college. We did a Relay for Life there, and it was inside, and it was nice. It was different because it was a mini relay. We didn't do it for a 24-hour period, which I'm a traditionalist. I like the whole 24-hour Relay for Life. A lot of the colleges will do a 12-hour Relay for Life, and I feel like it's kind of cheapening it in a way because the whole point of the Relay for Life, the reason why it's 24 hours for those listening who are unaware, is a Relay for Life is 24 hours to represent the fact that cancer never sleeps. So by doing a 12-hour relay, to me, I'm always kind of like thinking, it's kind of like cancer took a break, I'm taking a break. It's that whole struggle to try to stay awake for 24 hours as a team in some capacity.
Yeah, we switched to a 12-hour a couple years back because just to rent the facility, it was a little bit pricey. But
well, that's a logistical reason. That makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes the colleges do it just because they're lazy. They get the place for free, and then there's they're going back. That was a big fight when I was at Cal U. I wanted it to be 24 hours. There were a few people that wanted it to be a 12-hour relay for the laziness factor, and it was 24 hours the whole time I was there. But then once I left, I think they at one point went to a 12-hour relay. It's hard. It's hard to stay awake for 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So is Norwin 24 hours now again?
No, we're still at a 12-hour, but I know that there is a team at YSU, and I believe that theirs is a 24-hour, so I'm going to try to go up for that one.
That'll be cool. It's neat. I know at Norwin they used to do giant movies on a big screen TV late at night, and they had all sorts of activities, even in the way, way early hours to try to keep people there. They even had a church service on Sunday morning for people who were near the very end of the relay to try to accommodate those people who would want to go to worship Sunday morning. So really, really cool event. You guys ready back there? All right. Safety last. They're ready. Please don't forget, it's going to be on February the 1st. They're going to be performing with
Bon Journey.
All right. And that's going to be at the Antonelli Event Center in Irwin, right on Colony Drive. Safety last. To wrap things up, here on River Talk, this is the River's Edge Radio Network.
Diagnose your darkened mind. Tell me I got a problem. Why am I this way, you say? Why the fear of stardom? Yeah, I got the good life, so why you in my face? I ain't got no one on need. Yeah, it was a good trade. So pick me up if I would fall. Drive me home if I would call. Cut the strings on my guitar. This day is over. Already gone. It's alright, and I was never wrong. I'm already gone. Open letter, human may concern. Isolate the hate from hurt. Build the wall that needed built. History ain't been written yet. I will not have guilt. Cut the strings, I fall to earth. Land on my 2 feet. It's my childhood pain. The architects won't have me. So pick me up if I would fall. Drive me home if I would call. Cut the strings on my guitar. This day's over. I'm already gone. It's alright, and I was never wrong. I'm already gone. Open letter, no one may Tell my mother, tell my father, ruin it all, oh I'll ruin it all. Tell my mother, tell my father, ruin it all, oh I'll ruin it all. Already gone, it's alright, and I was never wrong. Already gone. Open letter, concern. Tell my mother, already gone. Tell my father, it's all all. I was never wrong. Tell my mother, already gone. Tell my father, open it all.
All right, that's safety last. Don't forget, February 1st at Norwin at the Antonelli Event Center. I'm Brian Crawford. Thank you guys so much. Check out Norwin Purple Fighters for more information on all of the events they have coming up. This has been the River's Edge Radio Network.